Hi, so you may have seen the new RUPES Uno Protect. What is it and who is it for? Stay tuned, we're going to go over those details next. Hi, I'm Todd, Cooperwriter with ESOTERIC. Today we're here to talk about one of the new products out on the market from RUPES. They've come up with new lines of polishes and pads that we will talk about a little bit later. Here, the big one we're going to talk about is the Uno Protect. What is it? Well, it is an all-in-one product. What does all-in-one mean? It's a cleaner, it's a polish, it's a protectant, all in one. Typically what that means, it's not going to be the best cleaner, it's not going to be the best polish, it's not going to be the best protectant, but people who are looking for this level of detail or detailers who are looking to do this level, it is a perfect combination. This is not something that you're using if you're going after a heavy level of correction. Because this has protection in it, this is not something that you're doing before coating a car. This already has a protection in it. You're just going over it quickly. It gets what it gets, and the protection on it is all that you're going to go with. You're not going to put anything on top of it. So a couple of things about this one. Maybe you're a mobile detailer. You don't have time for big correction jobs. You're in a car dealership. You're in a volume detail department. These are the kind of applications where the Uno Protect is going to come into play. Now you might think here at ESOTERIC it's kind of odd that we're talking about it. You typically see us working on stuff like Ferraris, other very high-end cars, that we're doing a very high level of correction. Well, it doesn't mean every one of our customers is going to be looking for that same level of protection. To some people, maybe all they've done is an inexpensive hand wash on a car before. They have never done major paint correction. A product like this is going to bridge that gap, start them out somewhere. If they don't have the appreciation for a full correction detail, you don't need to do it for them. You don't need to try to sell them on that. You know, we talk about here at the Elite Detailer Academy, we talk about a good, better, and best level of services to offer somebody. This would be your good. Better would be your one step. Best would be your multi-stage correction. So with this product, you can blaze through a car. Literally, we've gone through cars in just 30 minutes worth of polishing time. Obviously, with that, you're not getting a heavy level of correction, but if you can get rid of some of the haziness, some of the light swirls, bring some color and gloss back to it, plus add some protection, in some cases, that's absolutely perfect. Now we're gonna put up here on the screen some work that we did not too long ago. A dealership took this Honda Odyssey in on trade. It was black, it doesn't look like it had ever been washed. It was a real chalky finish to it. We went in literally, it was 30 to 40 minutes on this entire vehicle of polishing, and take a look at the 50-50 before and after. Now, if you look at the left side of the screen, obviously there is a lot of haziness, a lot of chalkiness to it. The right side where we taped it off, it came back to black. Now you can take a look in there closely and see there are still defects in there. But for most people, think about that difference of before and after, and that's taken it to a level that they have never seen before. The dealership was absolutely thrilled with the kind of work that we did on it. So you can get a good amount of correction depending on the finish and depending on what pad that you go for. If you're just looking for something light, you can team it up with like their white ultrafine polishing pad. If you want to get a little bit more aggressive, but not too aggressive, and you can still do it in as little as 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, you're gonna use their yellow, which is their fine polishing pad. Most of the time, this is what we're gonna go with, because we can still go over it really quickly on just about every paint type and get a good amount of correction out of it. Now, if you wanna go crazy with it, you can even use their yellow wool pad if you're going for a heavier level of correction, or let's say it has a lot of oxidation, older car, lighter color, harder paint. You could always team it up with something like the wool pad, spend a little bit more time with it, and you're going to get more correction. So it's really versatile. Typically speaking, I would say with each level of aggression, your speed is going to come down. I can blaze through it pretty quickly with a finishing pad. I can take a little bit more time with my polishing pad to get a little bit more correction, or I can take a little bit more time even still going with the heavier correction on it. And with this, you don't have to wipe off every section. You can be very efficient with it. Matter of fact, when we're working on cars, typically we're preloading a whole section with polish, meaning if I know I'm gonna break this down into say 6 polishing sections, I'll go ahead and pre-place 6 drops of product. That way, as I'm working one area, I can just turn off the machine real quickly, pick up the second area and work, because every time you have to stop, grab your polish, put more on the pad, put it back down, start back up, that adds a lot of time. And when you're working with a product like this here, it's all about efficiency. That's what you are going for. You're not going for that heavy level of correction. Now, how much do you use? What speeds do you use? What kind of machine can you use it on? Well, you can use it on just about everything. You can use it on the regular DA Bigfoot. You can use it on a rotary. You can use it on a forced rotation like the Melee. It will go with anything and everything that you use it. I'm typically going to run it at a little bit slower speeds. Maybe I'll do this at about speed 4 on one of these machines, but my arm speed is going to be a lot faster. You've seen our video on 5 tips for paint correction. Now that is a more intensive polish. We're going much more slow and more methodical. This, we're blazing through it pretty quickly. Once again, we're only going for a light amount of correction, and it's leaving protection on it, so we don't need to spend that much time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you an example of about how fast of a process we would do on most cars. Now, would we do a 456 Ferrari with a product like this? Typically, no, but you could have some of these older cars, maybe their paint is thinning, you just want to do something quick and add some protection. This could be a good product for this particular car. So as I'm working, I have my LHR 15. You want to shake this up well, and you're going to put 3 to 4 drops of product on the pad and work it into the surface. Once again, I'm going to move through it pretty quickly, but this is going to be typical of how you would use a product like this. As you can see, it's much faster of a process than what you would do in a normal paint correction. You could go quicker than this. You could go a little bit bigger section than this. Like I said, once I start stepping down in a higher level of cut, I may slow that process down a little bit. Once again, we showed you that 50/50 on that Honda Odyssey. That was that same speed or quicker on the entire vehicle to make that much of a difference. So to recap, if you are in the market, you're doing quicker details, maybe you're a DIY person at home, you don't want to get into a high level of correction, you want to start off with something more simple, the Uno Protect from RUPES is going to be fantastic for you. If you're doing mobile detailing, quick polishes, you're in a volume dealership or a volume detail shop, you're probably going to be doing a lot of details like this. Uno Protect, use it with a polishing or finishing pad most of the time. Speed 4, even if you're at a more entry-level machine, it's all going to be about the same, and you can make a nice difference. Oh, one more thing is once I do this, I typically don't wipe anything off until I'm done with the car. I can go around this entire vehicle, then go back and do my removal process. It's going to be just as easy to remove. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what the new RUPES Uno Protect polish is all about. Like I mentioned earlier, they do have a new lineup of polishes, new technologies, and new pads. Stay tuned because we're going to link you to the video that goes into all the details of their entire new lineup, including the pads we used in this video here. As always, thank you for watching the Esoteric channel.